in the third Wednesday of the month edition of the J&J Show, Tools, Technology, and Training, we're talking about ASTE. What does that stand for, ASTE?
Automotive something, I'm sure.
Something in tires.
Automotive service.
In tires.
And tires.
Training Expo.
And training.
Expo?
You think
it's sponsored by the ASTA, which is the Automotive Service Tire Association.
Right.
But then it would be ASTA.
Expo.
That's the association, and the show is called ASTE.
Yeah. Automotive Service Training Expo, I think.
Right.
Automotive Service and Technology Expo.
Right, and Gary confirmed it, so go with it.
Training. I thought it says, I'm looking at my notes and it says Automotive Service and Technology Expo. Yeah, because Kent sent these to me. So it must be right.
You guys been doing too much yoga lately. All that blood going to your head.
They got stuck.
Huh?
Look here, Mike Allen's fixing to pop in here. That's going to be awesome. This is going to be a good clan.
And if we go to the automotive training event of the year, it says Automotive Technology and Service Expo, Training Expo and Networking for shop owners and service. Did I say that right, Mike Allen?
You did. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Even on a Wednesday.
On a third Wednesday. And this particular third Wednesday edition of Tools, Technology, and Training, who's it sponsored by? Because, you know, I have a trouble saying all that in.
Well, Jimmy Lee knows who we're sponsored
No,
by.
but you have to say.
You can't know. Oh, I know who I'm sponsored by. Look right there in the top corner.
What does it
The
say?
Institute of Automotive.
John needs to turn his mic.
Talk into the mic, John.
John, pull that mic closer towards you.
Try that one more time because you missed a word.
I did?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Say
Four.
it. Listen.
4?
Institute for Automotive
Business excellence.
Business.
Business. I keep forgetting business. You know, I knew there was a B in there, and I'm pretty busy myself. So, yeah, I love it.
You
So, how
just
about
thought it
that?
was-
Is that mic getting better? I'm getting nervous right now.
Sometimes these time zones get us confused because when you go east, central, and mountain, sometimes when you throw Texas time zone in there, it kind of throws people off.
Why would that throw anybody off? Texas time is Texas time. It's the same in Texas as in Oklahoma, as it is in Kansas and
Look, guys, the answer is you just post everything in Eastern Standard Time. It's the Lord's preferred time zone.
the Lord's preferred.
Michael, I know it's after hours, but have you already had that much bourbon?
Yeah, look to the east.
I just popped open a bottle of the legendary Duke, John Wayne's.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good.
Hey, you know my favorite saying? More whiskey, McClintock.
Trisha confirms she's in the process of signing on now.
If that's not the best movie, then y'all need to watch it again.
That is a good movie.
There you go. Good party, McClintock.
Living.
That's right.
Break out that hog leg, Drago.
The executive director and the future president, but the executive director, Trisha Sauls, future president, Michael Allen, and I don't know if he keeps telling me he don't want to claim that title yet. It's coming up. So, Trisha, tell us the dates for ASTE.
It's going to be September 28th through the 30th.
We're hoping Lucas, the Trisha's assistant to the expo.
I like that title.
Assistant to the expo and the watch guard of Dutch Silverstone.
Oh my God! Well, that's got to be a time job.
Yeah, right there, both of those jobs. So we especially invited Trisha on because there's a women's event, and Trisha, you look all around the screen, all you see is guys.
Okay, no, that's why women's dinner is so important, and we've got a lot of people excited to come. We had a really good time last year with it, and we're looking forward to having another.
Why more women need to come to this, but also the women that come, make sure you register. How many do you have registered for that dinner? And the dinner is actually on Thursday night.
It's on the Yes, it's on the 28th, right before the pre-party. So we're gonna go to Mez Contemporary Mexican Restaurant, which is really close to the hotel, and
It's a really good restaurant too.
It's awesome place. And we're gonna eat some dinner, talk a little bit, and then head on over and ride go-karts at the pre-party with the rest of the crowd.
Oh, so it's before the go-karts, which
Yep.
are sponsored by the Institute for
Yeah.
Automotive Business Excellence and also co-sponsored by
Shop Marketing Pros.
Shop Marketing Pros.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's all the
Owned by a woman.
Brian and
Come
Kim
on.
Walker.
Yeah, buddy.
So
Kent,
Trisha, do they have
Jimmy,
to
thank you
register
for
separate?
sponsoring that, by the way. I really appreciate it. That's awesome that you are doing that.
And Kent's there too. Kent is sponsoring too. It's not just me. Give him some props.
Well, and if we're gonna go like that, then we draw a line all the way down. We make a 3 squares, and we'd be the winner because the third square would be Cecil writing the check for it.
Yeah.
Tic-tac-toe.
You know, we got to get it all the way down there. How did you get them to do that? But anyways, back to the original story. How many do you have signed up to go to the dinner? And do they have to sign up in advance, or they just show up? Is it
No, it's an extra ticket. So when somebody registers for the ASTE, they're gonna also select a ticket for the women's dinner for anybody on their team who is a woman and wants to come and hang out with other women in the automotive industry. We have got, I would say, probably about 40 signed up now. The restaurant, I think, is caps at around 70, 75 in the space that we have, but we always find a way to wiggle into more spots if we have to, usually. And I know that you don't have to come. Like, so if you're coming to the event, you have somebody on your team who's not necessarily coming for training, they're still welcome to come to the women's dinner.
And it should be said, it's not just for women who are in ownership. It can be service advisors, it can be technicians, it can be vendors, spouses, who aren't, and like you said, involved in the business. We've got pretty much every aspect of the industry represented in that group right now. And they have regular online meetings as well, just to kind of share their unique experience and the kind of the unique challenges that women have in a male-dominated industry.
So we should get the camera person for the J&J show, who also happens to be HR of my father's shop, involved in that group.
And service writer.
Oh, she's
And mentor to the employee.
You should. We have an apprentice program, and we've had several really successful apprentices come through who happen to be female. So we really want to start everyone in the shop that wants to get together and support even these new techs as they're coming through the industry too. So it's a lot of fun, and it started with the Amazing Women in Automotive, which is a weekly call group on Facebook. So we have a link to that on our website calendar. So if anybody is interested, they can find that on Wednesdays on the ASTA.org or ASTAUSA.org website calendar.
We know that there is like 50 different training sessions or something going on.
I think we're above that at this point. We've got a bigger property this year, so we are slam full of every possible class opportunity that we could get. We've got Tesla specific, EV in general. We've got Mercedes, BMW, Chrysler. I mean,
we've got
ownership.
We've got
tons
diesel
of
specific
owners.
classes for the truck shops and for the medium duty guys. There's marketing classes, obviously. There's service advising and sales. There's management. We've got a whole day devoted to the tire side of the industry, which I think is really exciting because us that are in the repair industry, need to understand and realize how much money there is to be made in tires and how that's a
Amen.
service that our customers want. And we shouldn't be shipping them down the street to a tire store for
Amen.
that, because we're going to lose a portion of them when we do that. And the interesting thing is all these tire heavy businesses that are coming into the association and coming to the event, well, they want to learn what we know, right?
They do.
So that's what the power of the networking is. They want to learn what we know and grow in that side of the industry, and we want to learn what they know. And we're not competing with each other. We're working together to bring everything up, right?
So, Mike, are you saying that there's a lot of shops that don't really address the tires?
Oh, well, I think so many of the shops in our industry, right, are shops that were started by a technician who was tired of working for the man, right, and wanted to have their own shop. And they're typically very good technicians, right? And what do really good technicians hate doing? Oil changes and tires, right? So I'm not going to mess with that stuff. That's for a lubie or whatever it might be. There's no money to be made in tires because they've gone to 1 or 2 training classes and they've heard that you got to have margin and markup, and they don't understand yet the concept of gross profit per hour. And so they turn that away. But the problem is, if I send Miss Jones, if I'm a Euro specialty shop and I'm a 1 or a 2 man operation, and Miss Jones needs tires on her 7 series, and I don't have a tire machine and I don't know how to do tires appropriately, right? And I send her down the street to Just Tires or whomever it might be, right? If they got their head screwed on straight and they're playing the game right, well, Miss Jones is now going to come to them for free tire rotation every 6 months, and free flat repairs and free alignment checks. And then they're going to catch the brakes and the fluid services and maybe the other things that they want to do that's not super complex. And all you get anymore is the problem child services on that 7 series, because they can do it faster and they can get her in right away, and you're booked out 2 weeks.
All you're doing is fixing a broke car after that. You're right, Mike.
And we all fix broke cars, but we make a lot more money maintaining fixed cars.
Amen.
So
well, and yeah, that's so interesting, because Candace was actually talking about that just today, and you know, we move some tires. You guys move a bunch of tires, so that's why it was. I didn't really realize that a lot of them are not messing with tires. And one of the big deals when you talk about the tire shops coming in to our industry and us, you know, doing tires, is the tire shops and the ones around here and all the ones that we've been involved with will sell them just one tire. It doesn't matter if it matches, if it's the same kind, if it's the same size, and so many folks, because that's one of my pet peeves, is so many folks don't realize, even though it says 225/75 R17 and you put another one on, it don't mean it's rotating at the same speed. And I always tell my customers, would you go running in a dress shoe and a tennis shoe? And they look at me like, no. And I'm like, well, what are you asking your car to do? You know,
speed rating variances, rolling resistance variances, load range variances, all of that's going to affect ride quality, ride control. And, you know, they need to bring up their game a little bit and understand that, you know, they know that, but a lot of times they're thinking, I want to get Miss Jones back on the road, right? We got one in stock and that's what's here. So they're not intentionally doing a disservice, but it comes from a place of a lack of exposure to education and information, right?
Well, and so many of the tire shops are supposed to be TIA, members of TIA, and that's just like basic information.
Well, the owner might be TIA certified and trained, but does that mean that Johnny, the 19-year-old kid who's answering the phone that day because he's fishing,
Technician Timmy,
or knows? Yeah.
That's all part of training. That's all part of educating. And it's like, okay, what goes out of your shop, you know? And so that's why it's so important to go to these events. I saw all of that because there was a couple different ones that you guys were highlighting. How do you say his first name? Kieran?
Kieran?
Oh yeah, Kieran O'Brien. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to
so
be doing
tell us.
implementing new technology into your shop, with to make your business run more efficiently. And that's something I think that I want to point out about Tire Saturday is it's not really so specific to tires that it wouldn't benefit anybody. It's just that it's a little bit more business focused because a lot of the tire dealers have a lot of training through manufacturers and through TIA. So we're just offering them a little bit more of the side of the business that they're interested in looking into and doing it in a short form. So if you're not the kind of person who wants to sit through a 4-hour seminar where you just focus on one topic, Tire Saturday is the AM session and a PM session, but in each one, there's going to be 3 presentations and then there's going to be a little discussion, time for networking. So you don't just have to sit there and, listen to one thing. I know a lot of people in our industry just they want to keep moving, they want to keep learning, moving on to the next subject. So this is just a completely different format. And I think it sounds like, a lot of people are really interested in it.
I'm excited about this format personally. I think it could change the way that we do events like this in the future because we give Jimmy 4 hours to talk about a subject and he can do it, right? Because he's a professional. He's been doing this forever. But sometimes you got to fill in a little bit of fluff. Maybe I'm going to give you 20 minutes of my history and my background as to why I'm a professional and an expert and you should take me seriously. And maybe we're going to take 3 breaks instead of 2 breaks or 1 break. This is like really dense, no fluff, just straight to the actionable material, straight to the facts, the details. Here's 30 or 45 minutes of what you can go back on Monday and do differently at your shop to make your business better. And if you can do that, and then you got 15 minutes of Q&A, or you go take a break, you come back in, you get a totally different subject, a totally different way to make your business better for another hour. I think that's awesome. I'm excited about that.
Y'all got stuff going on where you're going to talk about some of the EV tires to educate a little bit more about that?
Well, we've got, and Trisha, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got some kind of overarching, just like theory of operation and how to manage a business that's servicing EV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got some brand specific EV that's like, here's some pattern failure information. And then, we get really granular. We've got Seth Thorson coming down with a hands-on class, disassembling a Tesla drive unit to replace the bearings that fail, right? And putting it back in the classroom, like hands-on. So, Tesla's charging $8,000 for a new drive unit. You can disassemble. He's got the part numbers for the bearings that you can buy. You can repair it, put it back together for $4,000. You just save your customer 50% and you made a killing because it's all labor, right?
I love selling labor.
And see, that's part of what we're trying to share tonight. I didn't realize there was 50 different classes. And now you're talking even more about some of the ones specific, because like if you go on your website, it's hard for us old guys to sit there and scroll down 50 different ones and figure out, hey, which one do I want to go to? We fall asleep about 35, don't we?
That's right.
Well, one of the things. Go ahead, Trisha.
Oh, I was going to say, if you want to peruse the schedule, keep it around the kitchen while you drink your coffee in the morning, there is a printable version to the right of the attendee registration on the website. So you can take your time, you can scribble out things and put stars on other
And so we put the
things. We try to make it as easy as possible.
One of the things that I really like about it is I'm one of those guys. I close all my shops, all of them close down, and everybody goes down. If the shuttle driver wants to come, the shuttle driver comes, right? Because every session over the days, there's something for everybody. There's a management class, there's a sales class, there's a marketing class, there's a low-level technical class, there's a high-level technical class. So it's not like I have periods of time during the weekend where one of my dudes is sitting in the lobby bored. There's something for everybody at all times, and everybody loves the trade show. Everybody loves poker night. Everybody loves the pre-party. Thanks again to the Institute. That pre-party is going to be bonkers. Go-kart racing. It sounds kind of simple. You got 2 full bars, you got a full restaurant, you got video games, you got axe throwing, you got a golf simulator. It's a 2-level indoor go-kart track. They're electric carts, so it's not so loud that you can't hear and talk. I want to go right now. So
okay. Where's it at? So is that close by, or are y'all shuttling everybody over there?
So we have a shuttle bus a coach bus, two of them that'll take people back and forth throughout the pre-party, but it's still really close to the hotel. It's not far at all.
I think
It's at
like 2
rush
miles.
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2 miles. So
And how long is that pre-party last? We want to know how many times we can hop in line.
3 or 4
One
hours.
time. Just stay
Yeah,
there.
somewhere. I believe it's 3.5 hours,
I
somewhere
thought
in
it
that
was
neighborhood.
7 to 9. I think that's
7
what's
to
on the
9.
calendar, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be hanging out for a little while longer.
I think we beat them into submission to stay open a little later than normal. So we'll see.
Yeah, Cecil's writing the check and he's not here, so it's okay.
We can make that happen, I'm sure.
We can
Couple
get a
of good old boys like me and Kent, we'll make it happen.
few extra. So that's Thursday night. So folks come in, check in, and Thursday night, the ladies head over and eat some Mexican food, and John will be over there because he always gets them to mix up the guacamole fresh. And then you got the go-kart party going on. So tell us is that all that's going on Thursday?
Well, we got class all day Thursday, right? So there are classes available. Now, the Thursday classes are an add-on. When you sign up, the event historically has been Friday and Saturday. So the Thursday, when you sign up and you buy tickets, your tickets are for Friday and Saturday. And then you can peruse the classes that are available on Thursday. And if you want, that's an add-on ticket to come a day early. And those classes won't be as big. They're a little bit more intimate classes, a little bit like the hands-on classes are mostly on Thursday, I believe, because that's when there's availability, right? Trisha, we got some hands-on both days, don't we?
So yeah, Seth's class actually with the drivetrain is on the Friday, Saturday. So it's just included in the regular event. And he's going to do the class 2 times because it's hands-on and you can only, really show somebody something accurately in a small group. So there's a size limit. And so he's going to do it twice. During the session on Thursday, we added Thursday as an option because some people wanted longer classes so they could really get a grasp on something a little bit more technical. And some formats, even, with service advisor management, need more time to go over. So if you can add Thursday and there's something, that you really want to sink your teeth into, that's the great opportunity to do it. Some of the shops that we have in our organization and shops all over, maybe they're a little smaller, maybe they're a family operation, maybe there's one guy and he just wants to come, but he can't close an extra day. We didn't want to make it where we just added the day and made them feel like they were missing out on part of the event. So full event is still technically Friday and Saturday.
Just to give you a frame of reference of the scope on the Thursday classes, we've got a 6.7 Power Stroke class that's all day with Mike Cleary. We've got Mike Christopherson doing a full day EPROM class. Like if you've been thinking it's time to get into EPROM work, that's the way to do it, right? From the level of the equipment you need, here's what I use, some case studies. So that's good stuff. There are 2 different classes that are about the business of EV service. Isaac Rodell's doing one. And then I don't know Robert Kinney, but from Bumper to Bumper, I'm hearing good things about that class. So Malin Newton's doing a service advisor class all day Thursday. So if you want to do the add-on for Thursday, there's a ton of value to be had there for everybody in the business. So there's more than that.
Yeah.
Cecil's doing one Thursday that's all day also, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've got two very in-depth, very different service advisor classes that are all day. One that's more geared towards down economy, so the things are shifting right now. How do service advisors stay ahead of that? And then we have a mastering the advisor presentation, which happens to do with all the workflow, the process, and all that, how to prep and run that properly as a service advisor for Mark Sewell. So
they got Cecil in the big room. I think they're expecting about 10,000 for that class.
That
sounds about right.
It's going really, you can't, every time we do registration in the service advisor classes, because it's the most obvious, if you have a good service advisor, you're going to do better business. So
Amen.
you see a return on that investment immediately. And service advisor classes, it can get expensive. And a Thursday add-on class, like for one day, is really a much smaller fee then you would pay for a similar training for a whole day for your service advisor to like get out of work and go somewhere, to take it. So it's a good opportunity, figuring financially as well. You're going to make a smaller investment and you're still going to reap rewards because you're going to have the same high quality training.
This is where I like to throw that part in there called cha-ching, folks. Cha-ching.
That's Thursday. Friday, more classes like we talked about. Another amazing lineup. They're not full day classes. They're broken up into morning session and afternoon session. But we've also got the poker night or the casino night on Friday, which is a ton of fun. You really ought to come and send your team to that. And we have fun little prizes that we do. And I get on my very special extrovert scale, and I like to go around and throw chips around and double people's bets and that kind of stuff because it's all fun money anyway, right? So
love it.
It's a great time. Bring your team and just take over a roulette table or a blackjack table and have a blast. Great team building and networking on that. A lot of people. Is there a dinner Friday night also?
There's the ASOG dinner.
ASOG dinner's Friday night.
Is that night. And so usually a lot of people, the owners, a lot of them go to the ASOG dinner. And then when that's over, they come. Casino night is still happening. It's really just getting to be, a party level at that point. So
that was standing room only last year, that ASOG dinner. We brought more tables and more chairs out. There were so many people in there. It was awesome.
And there's a pizza party in the hospitality room for the people who do not go to the ASOG dinner or go off site to have dinner somewhere else. But a lot of people also will go out with clients or, some of their friends that they don't get to see all year. So it's kind of a go have dinner, however you're going to manage that. We have it for you, but, have fun and then come back and join the whole crowd at the casino tables.
Yes.
Go-kart party Thursday night. The casino party Friday night. Friday night.
We get back from there. When's the bourbon tasting? What time does that take place?
Then you're jumping right to the end.
That's Saturday night. That's
there's so much good stuff before that.
So tell us some more of the good stuff, Trisha.
Well, let's see. So Friday, actually, we didn't even mention that we have a lunch in the middle of the day, and that's really kind of the most attended part of the ASTE because everybody's there, right? This is the full event. The people who've come for Thursday are still there. The people who are for Friday, Saturday have joined us. Everybody gets to sit down together. We usually talk a little bit about business, thank our sponsors and that kind of thing. And then we talk about our apprentices and we, announce people who graduated and, kind of give them a little love and attention because we want to make sure that they feel really welcome in the industry as they're kind of just starting out in their careers. And then we have a keynote this year from Tom Greco, who's the CEO of Advance, as everybody usually knows. And he's retiring. So this is his, kind of goodbye tour, so to say. So that'll be, some insights on as he looks back over his career in the industry and with Advance. So that'll be really, I just think it's really interesting to hear the perspective of people who've gotten to a level of business, success that's beyond what the average person is going to get to. So it's always really neat to hear what their insider information.
And that's at lunch.
That's at lunch on Friday, and all the meals are, except for the ASOG dinner and the women's dinner, all of it is included in the ASTE registration. So there's breakfast with your hotel rooms. There's lunches every day, and then there's a dinner
and
every night.
The pizza party, the hospitality suites open every night. That'll have snacks and soda and water and maybe other things.
I like other things.
Trisha, can you give us a little blurb on the trade show? And I know that's Saturday.
That is Saturday. So instead of having a big sit down lunch on Saturday, what we do is the classes stop at around 10:45. They don't start back up again until 2:15. So everything stops for the trade show, and the food is on the trade show floor. Everybody walks around, you get a little plate, get some cheese and make a sandwich and some grapes, and you walk around and you have a little card and you go meet everybody and you put your cards in the fishbowl and you get your door prizes. It's all kinds of fun.
Trisha's a vegan, so she mentions grapes and begrudgingly cheese. We've got carving stations with red meat bleeding everywhere. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
Oh, good. Oh, wonderful. Great.
Good, I can
I
eat
try to forget about those.
On the legs.
Look, I was going for a donut wall. I've been overruled years in a row. I want a wall of donuts, and I keep getting shot down.
I
Oh,
have it.
man,
I
that's
have it
bad.
on the. It is an opportunity. So if any sponsors are out there that want to make Mike as happy as a kid on Christmas morning, go on there and get that donut wall because
Amen.
I've
I
got
keep
the
hearing about
solution,
it.
Mike. Just have Carfix sponsor the donut wall.
Uh-oh. Look at his eyes roll.
I mean, we've got a Krispy Kreme like a mile from the shop. I could get hot now.
Right?
Yeah, buddy.
I bet you
Bring it
wouldn't take
down.
much.
Load up that
I bet you
wall.
wouldn't take much for them to buy one, donate one.
Yeah, John, let's
Wall
have
of
a wall
brisket,
of
yes.
brisket.
I
Like
think
Kent's
Kent's onto
saying
something
there.
here.
Let's have a
Just the meat wall, just a variety of different meat, like dripping grease down onto a tray.
Oh gosh.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
Trisha.
How has it gone in this direction?
It's Wednesday.
You were the one talking about all this, right?
It's
So
So
the trade show is only Saturday.
only on Saturday. So we find that, historically our vendors have more success and, have a better time when they're not just standing behind a booth talking to somebody who comes by once or twice an hour. They go to casino night, they go to the luncheon, they go everywhere that our attendees go, and everybody kind of participates together. And then by the time we have the trade show, they're old friends and everybody hangs out and they're like, oh, hey, I was talking to you last night. This is what you were talking about. Thanks, Kent. That's awesome. And, and they just, they really have a relationship and they've built a rapport before the trade shows even started. So it adds kind of a little bit of value that I don't think any the chat is.
So the media row, when is people going to be able to talk with us?
You guys have your own little room where you can record throughout the whole entire event. So you are welcome to even go in there, during the side events. You go in there early in the morning, you can go in there in the evening. Probably not after bourbon night. I don't recommend
No,
it,
it's
but
not-
otherwise
It's not in the trade show part.
no, your
it
studio
is not.
Yeah,
No.
your
Because I
studio is
saw
going to be on the
you- I saw
main
you walking
feeder
around.
between the hotel lobby and the conference center. So everybody
but-
is going to be walking back and forth past your studio all weekend.
Mhm.
Okay, because when she was walking around, she said, "Okay, Carm's in this one, and Lucas is in this room, and those were rooms." And then she said something about the J&J show, and it was right there by the
Put them in the
bathroom.
back.
Yeah,
the
it's actually
It's
the
a
valet
broom
closet.
closet.
Right back
It's
here
a
by the
converted broom
bathrooms.
closet.
I got the broom closet.
This won't quite fit in a broom closet, but
We
I-
cut it up a little bit.
That covers up the door
I
on the
was just
outside.
concerned when I kept looking, and then Candace goes, "Are those bathrooms right there?" And I was like, I said, I thought Lucas was taking care of us. I guess it's his idea of taking care of us.
Well, you're also right next to where Seth's going to teach his class. So ignore
Next
the
to where?
bathrooms and think of all the, the interesting stuff that will be happening around
Think
you.
of all that EV knowledge
That's gonna be awesome.
EV
I'm excited
knowledge,
for
yeah.
this.
dripping into your ears.
We could be sharing all kinds of EV information and talking to them, because if y'all didn't see, we did a interview with Electron John.
Yes, we did.
And he was talking about, and that was another one of my pet peeves, is a lot of folks are not realizing how much maintenance items are going to be available on these EV cars. And so, they need to learn how to figure out how to work on them safely, or learn how to say to the technicians, okay, this car's safe for you to work on.
Emerging pattern failures in hybrid and EV specifically. There's going to be so much money to be made maintaining them. They break in so many ways. They're heavy. They wear out tires. They wear out chassis and suspension parts constantly. The fit and finish on the interior is just, think like mid 90s General Motors quality on the interior and the trim. So yeah, we just need to learn to not be scared of them and
Amen.
recognize the patterns and see where it is. This is just the next evolution in our business, and our business is going to be so healthy and so good for the next 20 years. And
That's
by
right.
the time 20 years is up, I don't think any of us is going to be doing it anymore. So it's somebody else's problem.
Hey, it ain't that far away from me. I'm going to be like Gary is. I'm out of here.
So Trish, thank you, and Mike, thank you so much for sharing all of that. Now, we also had asked one of your sponsors, Kent Bullard and Jimmy Lee, to talk about, because they were bragging that they were going to be talking about 5. They had 5 classes. And then when you say there's 50, then it's like, oh my gosh, they got like a 10th of the classes going on there.
They're holding it up. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they got their side of the stick balanced out real well, I bet.
And I really wanted to hear about Cecil's class, and his was selling automotive service and repair in a down economy. But if you listen to Trish and Mike, it's like, and me and you would say the same thing. We ain't got no down economy going on. This is like, we are so busy. We got so many folks, and then we got a new opportunity with the EVs.
Gosh,
Cecil's
Hey,
not
Cecil,
even here to
that way.
tell you about this down economy service advisor training course, but I'll let Kent fill you in on all the good, juicy details because, yeah, it's a class you definitely need to pay attention to.
Yeah, I think either fortunately or unfortunately for us, our industry tends to do well in a down economy. And that's more so what we're talking about, is taking advantage of the opportunities that are happening as these other industries are going down. We are rising. I mean, like you were saying, Mike, we've got a massive future in front of us. There's a lot of opportunity to be had here. And this is definitely one of those things that we're going to talk about in this class for advisors to take advantage of these opportunities.
So really, this is an upbeat class.
It really
your
is.
advisor.
It sounds down, but it's really hey, here's this opportunity that we can take advantage of.
amen.
That's why we got to get you on and tell the folks about this. Because
Cha-ching.
when we find out that Cecil's classroom will hold 10,000, we got to fill that up.
Don't
It's
let
a
him
big
know
win.
that. His head's big enough.
We're
don't-
prepared for video live broadcasting on the outside if the crowd flows into the parking lot. So,
Well, and if it does, we can siphon some of those over to Mark Sewell, who's presenting on the same day to service advisors as well, mapping the
we
whole
call it
process.
the map class, but it is the mastering the advisor presentation, and this has to deal with the process, the setup, the delivery, and then the follow through on the end of it. So it's going to go through the entire process with your service advisor and make sure they've got everything they need to execute that presentation properly with the customer.
How awesome. That's going to be a really good class.
And after sitting in a lot of service advisor classes throughout the years, I have to say that if you were not a service advisor, I think it would be worth taking a service advisor class, because anybody in your shop can use these techniques when they communicate. There's going to be a technician that's going to have a conversation with a customer sometimes. There's going to be a manager who's talking to them about something. These are just basic skills that a lot of people that deal with other people in general could have and could use reminders on. It doesn't hurt anybody to jump in, especially when you have a really good class like these.
Amen.
Well, and Mike Allen is sitting right there, and he can tell you if he's got 3 or 4 shops.
3.
Those service advisors take vacations.
Yep. Or they get
And all of a
sick.
sudden, the customers don't quit.
Or they
But-
get sick.
One of the best service advisors I've ever had is 28 years old. He retired last month because his wife got a huge job, and now he's
Sweet.
a stay-at-home dad. And so guess
Tough
who has
job.
to answer the phone again for the first time in years?
Oh, you got to get recertified on that most expensive tool in the shop, that telephone.
Amen.
This is what we call suboptimal operating conditions. But
Well, and Cecil's teaching a class, Becoming Great on the Phone.
Yeah, there you go. You might want a little freshen up there, Mike.
Hey, Mike, you want to stop by that one specifically? Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah, you might get-
if I'm still having to do that by the time ASTE rolls around, we got a problem.
We need another class.
That's the pleasures of being an owner. You never know what hat you're going to have to wear the next day, right?
Truth,
so
man. Just the
true.
truth. But I mean, to Trisha's point, though, most of a high-level service advisor class is just human interaction and communication skills, right? Managing expectations and setting reasonable expectations and under promise, over deliver. It's good for everybody in the organization to know how to talk to people.
Ultimately, people just want to feel safe, especially now with today's economy. It's. I mean, I want to make sure that the person I'm taking my vehicle to, the one thing that I'm dependent on my livelihood, freedom, all that is going to take care of me. Especially because right now I'm not going to be buying a new vehicle. I'm going to be investing in the one that I currently have. It's frightening, and so the best we can do is set a high expectation and then exceed that.
Your service advisor, in my opinion, your service advisor is probably the hardest job in the shop.
Mentally,
and the one that most people are unprepared to do. You got techs that become shop owners. They don't know how to talk to customers. They don't know how to price jobs. So the training involved in being a service writer should be the priority for any shop. That's your face of your business right there. When you walk in, then you talk to this person, and it's a hard job. I've been on both sides of the desk, in the back and the front, and I would much rather be under the hood than on the front desk. It's a lot easier fixing cars than it is fixing people.
Cars don't talk back.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Now that's a whole nother class. Cars don't talk back.
So, Jimmy, you're down to 5 minutes to talk about what y'all got going.
Well, it's so much fun shining the light on everybody else that it's not often we get to talk about our own classes. So I'm going to give Kent a little bit of time here because Kent and I and Cecil, all three of us are going to battle Friday morning to see who has the largest class. Of course, we know Cecil will have the largest class, so that's not even a competition. It's who's in second place, Kent or I, and I'm going to give Kent the microphones.
Quite a lot. When they reached out to us, we thought about what exactly this industry needs right now, and as far as training is concerned. And we talked about the service advisor stuff, but there's a lot that we're bringing to it. I'm going to be talking about building your workforce. So how are you training the people that are coming in? How are you taking care of the next generation of technicians? Because I think that, Mike, as you were saying, it's going to be a big issue for the next couple of years. And what are we going to do about it? We're the active owners. We're the people at the top who are making the decisions that are going to change the industry in the future. And it starts with taking care of the business so the business can take care of the employees, making the right choices so they have the resources to, put in benefits packages, journeyman training. What's the career path look like for these people? Because we don't want them to get chewed up and spit out in 5 years or less.
Okay. Yes,
That's a good deal right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of training, how about that? That's training
That's
right there.
Power. Right there. That's
Jimmy, what are you going to be talking about?
So my class is going to be awesome. In fact, I would say it's dope. Oh, that is the title. It's dope marketing. Dope marketing. Yes, you heard it right. Dope marketing. You don't even understand what this means.
Art of successful communication.
This is the art of successful communication with your customers. You will be top of mind exactly when it is that they need you. You will be the top of mind. So that dope marketing is exactly what it needs to be there. And Mike, this is the kind of stuff that really sells.
I also have some other classes, some new instructors from the Institute. Aaron Woods, who's been a phenomenal owner. I don't know if you guys have seen him on some podcasts recently, but we're excited to have him. He's talking about 10 steps to your profitability engine. So that's your profitability model, how your business makes money, and how you continue to grow that business. Again, it all stems to taking care of our people. So how do we do that? We run a good business, make a profit, use that to get resources to take care of everybody. And that's going to be a phenomenal class. I think it's a half day. It's the afternoon on Friday. That would be one I wouldn't miss.
That sounds very interesting. I like the thought of that one.
And we didn't even talk
dope
about
in that other.
was it Saturday night? I did want to get back to the bourbon thing after, we talk about the classes.
I can't
'cause we
miss it.
are-
I missed it last year, and
You
I
d-
didn't
you
hear the
can't
end of it
miss
from Lucas.
Is there extra cost for that class?
There,
Oh, yeah.
there is an extra cost for that class, and
Was
but
that
the tickets are available on the registration. It's really limited. It's a small class. It's kind of exclusive because it's a class. I mean, it's not just everybody spilling a bunch of bourbon, which they do as well. But this one, you really get this, overview of why what you've been drinking is terrible, and you need to be drinking other things. It's the most informative, and the bourbon instructor, man, he
Is
is
it the same guy?
amazing. Yes.
Yeah, they issue seatbelts at the door so you can strap yourself into your chair. That's
my.
why the seats are limited.
The guy's name is Gary Crunkleton, and he owns 3 of the most exclusive whiskey bars in the Southeast. And he is hilarious, super high energy. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a heart attack during the class. I thought he was last year. But I mean, he like if you go into one of his establishments and you say, "Oh, well, I want to have some Pappy Van Winkle," and they kind of roll their eyes at you because do you want the Pappy that we have from 1972? Because they've got all the things. They've got $50,000 bottles of bourbon in their bar, right?
Oh my.
He has legislation passed
They're very serious about
to
it.
change liquor laws in North Carolina so he can have different types of whiskey that you couldn't have beforehand. It's incredible.
And he's a storyteller. He's an excellent storyteller. So you just sit there listening to him, and you don't even, the time just flies by because you're just so engaged in what's happening in the class. It's just really
Backtrack a little bit. I think it's worth noting we do have in the Saturday evening before the whiskey tasting event, we have a little event, and it's really kind of focused towards the owners primarily. Correct me if I'm wrong, Trisha, but it's going to be, my understanding is it's going to be heavy hors d'oeuvres.
So this year, I think we're going a little bit bigger than we did last year
Okay.
because we've got Stuart Schuett, who is the CEO of ATD, to do our keynote Saturday evening because it's Tire Saturday, and that really just made sense. And so we're going to have dinner, and everybody's welcome to come to that. Shot Monkey is sponsoring it, so they usually do like some really cool little event, takeaways and things like that. They really had some good ideas, so it's going to be fun. And then afterwards, the people who are going to the bourbon party will go to the bourbon party tasting, and then hospitality is open again. And last year, see, I don't really go to the hospitality room because I'm tired at the end of the day, but I would wake up every morning on Facebook and see these pictures that look like a frat party was happening in the hotel every night. So even though I don't get to experience it much, I hear that the hospitality room is where it's at.
So if you have attendees who are not yet heavily involved in tires, ATD is American Tire Distributors. They're the largest tire and wheel distributor in North America. And Stuart Schuett is, Stuart Schuett is their CEO, but he is an incredible wealth of knowledge, just like Tom Greco is. And he has access to analytics and data and trending information that they use to forecast their industry that people like us just don't get to see. So having him talk to us about the industry is really valuable.
Can you get him on the J&J show?
Absolutely.
On his way to the bathroom?
I don't know if you saw in the chat, I said, full transparency,
tires.
your studio is actually the third stall in the men's room. So y'all just need to pull him in.
I've seen that.
Do we have to stand this up sideways?
Hang it from the ceiling, let it blow in the wind.
It's a very spacious stall. It's the wheelchair stall.
The handicap.
I love it, Mike. I love it.
Why does he say handicap when he's looking at us?
If the shoe fits.
This is so interesting, and I know Mike's trying to do a deal on Friday where the folks come in and all complain and stuff, but this is so interesting. We need to get this edited and put it out because this is, people can say, oh my gosh, let's go to this training event. Oh my gosh, ASTE is out there in North Carolina. but to sit here and listen to you all and talk about the classes and talk about all the other activities that are going on.
And all the booze.
And well, I don't know about all the booze, but
I will. I'm signed up for the bourbon testing. I'll find out.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to hit mute on it. How are we gonna control it? This will be the first time we're out there with him. So anyways, this is so exciting to me, and listening to all the different deals that are going on. It's like if more folks don't sign up. So Trisha, close us out. I know Jimmy missed his 5 minutes, and we might give him 5 minutes after you talk. But close us out with how many do you have signed up? Is there still room? And I seen some deals about the main hotel was full, or the blocked rooms were sold out. So tell us on the room for folks.
Sure. We're in a bigger property than last year. It's the first time we've moved in years. So we are a little bit closer to the RDU airport. There are shuttles going back and forth. There are more. I see the other question. Yeah, there are definitely more. We don't have the exhibitors up yet. Those are just kind of the top tier sponsors that are on there that you see listed right now. But we've got the hotel room block is sold out. The hotel actually is sold out. So people bought rooms after the room block went for the full price. But because we're on the outskirts of the airport, it's hotel, 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 which is one of the things that was really a priority for us, was making sure there was enough room and everybody was really close together if they didn't fit all in the same place. So the Spring Hill Marriott, it's like shares a parking lot, like parking lot to parking lot, and they have rooms and they're lovely. And then there's another property about 0.4 miles up the street that's a Hilton, and they have rooms. And so everybody's just kind of spreading out a little bit and, going to get together. But it's looking right now like Spring Hill Marriott's also going to be bringing the party because they're filling up, with everybody. So it's not like you're going to be an island on your own. You're going to have a whole nother group at the other hotel, and we'll just all stumble back and forth. So it'll
I'm gonna bring my scooter, have something to ride.
The website right now just has the higher level sponsor vendors, the trade show vendors. I don't know how many there will be this year but I mean, there was 150 to 200 last year.
Really?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. So there will be a lot. I mean, it's not vision big
yet.
I would say it's vision quality, especially because
it's vision better.
Yeah. Yeah. Trisha would say way the hell better, but
I'll go with that one. I've been in vision a long time.
It's just different. There's room for everybody.
100%.
We all need so much training. I think it's important that everybody goes to it as much as they can, whenever they can, wherever they can. But we're the most fun.
But us first.
While we learn the most stuff. So
I would say that there's a definite, uniqueness to ASTE. Last year was an absolute blast for me, and I'm excited to come back this year.
Kent had one of the
first year.
Wait, Trish.
I told him he had one of the best classes.
We've got to let Jimmy talk.
Oh,
Please.
you're right. I'm sorry.
Please.
That's the whole
We don't
reason
want to
Brad's
explode.
on here, Jimmy.
Well, and here's
Brad,
the funniest
I thought
thing
you
of it
liked
all.
us.
You guys are just awesome and amazing, and I'm just in stitches over here listening you talking. And I'm going to turn the time to Kent. We're going to shine the spotlight on Kent, not on me. It's going to be Kent. Kent's going to talk about our bonus presenter.
We do have a bonus presenter. So we've been working with a man named Michael Smith, who is exceptionally intelligent. He's come in and worked with some of the top shops, kind of dealing with, private equity money's coming into this industry, and he's been working with those. And so he's going to be giving a presentation on, optimizing your growth, your investment in your business, and the exit strategies that are coming up over the next couple of years. And that'll be, I think, Saturday morning as well.
Optimizing
part of
growth,
Tire
investment,
Saturday.
and exit strategy with Michael Smith.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't
That's
miss
the
it.
one.
You know what I would love, because there's so many great topics and so many great classes, and you only have the opportunity to attend essentially
One.
5 classes, because Thursday classes are all day.
1 per hour.
I wish that we could have an AV set up and record video and audio for every single class. I feel like some of the instructors probably wouldn't want their content being recorded because that's their trade, right?
Right.
But man, there's so much good stuff. And I wish I could just cookie cutter myself and go to all of them, because
I tried that last year. It didn't work. I cried, but I
guys, thank you so much for doing this tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well,
It's
thank
made me
you all.
even more excited about the show. I can't wait.
Oh, it's
It
going to be
is.
awesome.
It's I didn't realize there was so much. That's why I like to get on and find out and talk, because if I don't know all of that, then I guarantee you a whole lot of the industry doesn't. Thank y'all so much.